Zwift roll out their regular monthly update today, which includes a user interface update. It's only a little thing, but it's really handy. Okay, so what you'll notice now in the pre-selected routes are checkboxes. You'll see a checkbox next to any routes that you've already done, so there's no need to drop into the game, go back to the menus, click on the route badges, scroll down and try and figure out which badge is related to which course. They're there on screen before you even start your ride. Another very handy addition to this is that the lead-in information is now included in the route information. So the infamous Lucha and Lucha counterclockwise routes are correctly represented, as well as that other infamous 10K lead-in for the 10.6K Highline route on New York. This is now listed as a 20.6 kilometer route. Zwift Insider have also pointed out there are better profile representations here on screen, so you know what's coming up with the hills. It's worth pointing out that this information for the route badges that you haven't ticked off yet is only available for the 3 active worlds on screen. If you want a better service to track your overall route badge hunting progress, zwifthub.com is where it's at. So whilst I love this new update, I think it's a great addition which should have been there all along, especially that lead-in information, I think it's a little limited. It doesn't change the game and it doesn't change the rules. What I would love to see is something like a bronze check mark next to the routes you've done just once, maybe a silver check mark next to those routes you've done 5 times, and a gold check mark for those routes you've done 10 times. That would change the game, that would change the rules, and incentivize those who have been on the platform for a long time to ride more, to achieve more, and do more things. Having a gold check mark next to any of those route badges would be a little like having the Tron bike. There's a level of prestige there that you know when you see a Tron bike, people have done the work. If you've got a gold check mark next to any of those route badges, you've also done the work. Unless you've ridden Duchy Estate 10 times, that's not very far at all. But as it stands right now, you only need to do the route once to get that green tick box. On to another change that we'll see at the end of the month once the Olympics...
Don't say Olympics!
I can't say Olympics?
For legal reasons, it's probably best not to.
Okay, so the OVS series wraps up on June 27th, which means on June 28th onwards we can schedule events and meetups on the Umazy World. Very handy if you haven't got any of those 8 badges and that Umazy World isn't in current rotation. Now digging into the bug fixes and improvements, which is quite the list again this month. They've improved the steering in a large group to make it easier to assimilate into the pack and hold draft. There's also some collision changes in regards to steering in bunches. They do list here they've updated the Wahoo KICKR bike button input. So the top right brake hood button now triggers a power up and the bottom one triggers a U-turn. The KICKR Smart Bike having auxiliary buttons in addition to the gear changes. Now testing that early on today, just after release, it doesn't work. So expect a quick fix being released by Zwift very soon to resolve this one, but that should be coming soon. They also list here adding Bluetooth support for the Wahoo TICKR heart rate strap. The Wahoo TICKR's been out for a very long time. I'm not quite sure what the story is there. I've also been using the Wahoo TICKR on Zwift. Improved Zwift PC launcher update experience. I believe the details behind the scenes there is that they will kill off the launcher, so the update is a smoother process when that needs to be done. New kits, shoes, etc. being updated. There's an update to the exit button to now read exiting when the shutdown process on Mac and PC is taking place. There's more updates to steering or rider positioning in game. There's some power up fixes, there's some unlocks, event audios, scenery updates. But scrolling down to one that I do take an interest in is they fixed an issue with the spin down calibration reporting incorrect speed when set to metric units for Jet Black and Elite trainers. Now I've had a support ticket in since October last year in regards to spin down on Elite trainers. We'd have to spin the trainer up to 53 kilometers per hour or 54, somewhere near there. It was well past 36 kilometers per hour as seen on screen. So fingers crossed, they've fixed that one. I'll be jumping on here just shortly to check that out myself. And finally, Zwift have ended support for older versions of macOS, in particular 10.10, so do be aware of that if you're Zwifting on an older machine. If that is the case, I would really recommend an Apple TV 4K for something that's cheap, simple, and just gets the job done. It will be a much better experience than older machines running very old versions of macOS. As always, with these new updates, Mac and PC get these updates first, with iOS, Android, and tvOS coming a few hours later in those respective stores. A few housekeeping notes on this one. Still no support for the KICKR Direct Connect module and no indication of support for the new Apple TV remote. Supporting for the new navigation features on this will be a game changer. Still, nothing mentioned about that. It's okay, it's where it belongs. Okay, that's what's new for this month. Keep an eye out for the hot fix coming soon to fix that kicker bike issue. And as always, hit subscribe to support this channel. I really appreciate it. We'll see you soon.